KGUN9 on your side, live at 5, starts right now.
I have never knowingly violated NCAA rules while serving as head coach of this great program.
We expect that Coach Miller will be on the sidelines coaching the team tonight and for the remainder of the season.
You heard the coach and the president. U of A basketball head coach Sean Miller is not backing down amid ESPN's report that an FBI wiretap recorded Miller discussing payments with then recruit Deandre Ayton. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Guy Ashley.
And I'm Stella Inger. We have team coverage of all of the developments surrounding Sean Miller and all the allegations. 9 News Sign's Erica Weston and Max Darrow are live at U of A. First, let's go to Max with more on what Sean Miller said in the press conference today.
He said he's innocent, and he's frankly upset with all of the negative attention that this has brought to the basketball program and the university as a whole. Speaking very frankly, he just said he's done nothing wrong. Speaking at an impromptu press conference announced just hours before the Arizona Board of Regents meeting to discuss Arizona men's basketball head coach Sean Miller's contract, Miller says he's done no wrong.
I have never arranged or directed payment or any improper benefits to a recruit or prospect or their family or representative, and I never will.
Last week, ESPN reported FBI wiretaps intercepted phone calls between Miller and Christian Dawkins, where they allegedly discussed paying then recruit Deandre Ayton $100,000 to come play at Arizona. Today, Miller says that's not true, and he defended Ayton.
Let me be very, very clear. I have never discussed with Christian Dawkins paying Deandre Ayton to attend the University of Arizona. In fact, I never even met or spoke to Christian Dawkins until after Deandre publicly announced that he was coming to our school. Any reporting to the contrary is inaccurate, false, and defamatory.
And until tonight, a lot of people thought Miller had coached his last game for the Wildcats, but tonight, the university is standing by Coach Miller. Guy, Stella?
Max, thank you very much.
Erica Weston joins us now. Erica, what's next for Miller? Can we expect to see him on the court tonight?
Well, thank you, Guy. Yes, there is still a basketball game to be played tonight. Yes, once the news of the press conference was Sean Miller would be speaking to the media this afternoon, many thought Miller would be announcing his resignation. Instead, he declared his innocence. He blasted the ESPN report, calling it defamatory, as you heard, and maintained that his focus is on coaching his team. So, yes, Sean Miller will be on the sidelines tonight. You heard President Robbins say that. He confirmed it. He will be the head coach against Stanford tonight and the rest of the season. Not to be lost, though, in all of this, an Arizona win would clinch them at least a share of the Pac-12 regular season title. However, Miller did concede that he was asked about a potential deal to pay a player, but no such deal ever occurred.
I also want you to know that the one time that someone suggested to me paying a player to come to the University of Arizona, I did not agree to it. It never happened, and that player did not come to the University of Arizona. Out of respect for this ongoing investigation, the privacy of the student athlete and his family, I'm not going to share further details concerning this matter.
Now, it's possible that that player is Brian Bowen, who did not come to the University of Arizona. On another basketball note, a win tonight would mean senior Dusan Ristic is the winningest player in Arizona basketball history. The team is also still, as of now, without star guard Alonzo Trier. Guy, Stella, back to you.
Erica, thank you. Now, just hours after Sean Miller spoke today, the Arizona Board of Regents met in Phoenix.
U of A President Dr. Robert Robbins publicly announced his support for Miller. Take a listen.
At this time, we have no reason to believe that Coach Miller violated NCAA rules or any laws regarding the allegation reported in the media. Additionally, he has a record of compliance with NCAA rules and has been cooperative with this process. While some might be tempted to rush to judgment when there is an intense public pressure, due process is the bedrock of fair treatment and acting with integrity. Deandre Ayton, who has been subjected to false public reports that impugn his reputation, has our full support.
ESPN issued a third correction regarding the time frame of Miller's alleged phone call to Dawkins regarding possible payment to Ayton. The network has reverted back to what it said in its first report, that the call happened in 2017. KGUN9 has reached out for an interview with Mark Schleybaugh, the ESPN reporter who broke this story. We have been told he is unavailable. However, ESPN is standing by its story. All of this as Sports Illustrated is now backing up Sean Miller's denial.
We are staying on top of all the latest developments online, on our Facebook page, and on the app. That's KGUN9. One person is injured after a probation officer involved shooting on the west side this morning. It happened when adult probation officers tried to serve a probation violation warrant. The suspect threatened officers with a handgun. Then one probation officer fired at the suspect. No officers were injured. The probation officer who fired is on leave with pay pending an investigation. Democrats say they are pleasantly stunned and surprised by President Trump's comprehensive approach to changing gun legislation.
Meanwhile, other Republicans are reacting cautiously as the president reiterates that more must be done. President Trump is voicing support for expanded background checks, increased school security, and more mental health resources. Yesterday at the White House, he reaffirmed his support for raising the age to 21 to buy some firearms and to ban bump stocks.
Senator Jeff Flake weighed in on CBS this morning when asked about what leadership looks like for the president to make these gun laws changes. This is what Flake had to say.
Certain members of Congress and
certainly the latter, to get on the phone and say, hey, I'm going to sign this if it comes to my desk. That gives Republicans in Congress cover. If the president is on their side, they don't have to worry so much about activist groups or the NRA or grassroots organizations that may think differently. So it's extremely important for the president to lead here.
Flake also introduced a bill to raise the minimum wage to buy assault weapons from 18 to 21.
Well, it was a cold night last night. Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen is tracking our forecast. How's it looking tonight?
You know, in typical Tucson fashion, we have rebounded back to full-on sunshine, temps in the 70s. In fact, we're going to see more of that in the 7-day with one exception. Which day over the next 7 we'll have a little hiccup? That's in your full forecast.
Plus, Tucson Fire is riding around in style. How crews are taking extra steps and adding new features to keep you safe. You're watching KGUN9 on your side. More safety on the roads for you and Tucson firefighters.
The Tucson Fire Department just received 2 new fire engines, a ladder truck, and 9 medic trucks, all equipped with new safety features and technology. 9 News Side's Priscilla Casper gets a first-hand look at the new rides.
New and safer Tucson fire engines and medic trucks are about to hit the streets. The new engine trunk backs have chevrons. When light hits it at night, it will reflect.
This truck is going to be going to engine 9. And right over here we have engine 9's current truck that they're using now. And you can see the difference in the back of the truck and how it looks now from what it looked like on the previous year's truck. And that just brings that visibility awareness. It's another safety feature for us.
The current engines have buzzards. Firefighters need to push, alerting the driver when backing up to stop or go.
We want to make sure that the firefighter that's operating this buzzer has a line of sight with the driver.
But as you can imagine, there's a big blind spot. The new engines now have backup cameras to assist. I decided to test it.
Can you hear me? All right.
The driver can see blind spots also on the right side as well.
When they're changing lanes or turning, that they would be able to have those eyes there.
There are also LED lights on the fold-down steps, rollover protection airbags, and as each truck turns on, the power cord ejects itself. Inside, there's seat detection, making sure everyone is buckled in.
And buckle in. Now that's going to tell me that we're both ready to go.
TFD's new medic trucks have new suspension and a power load system for their gurneys.
They still get us to the calls, but the way they get us to the call are just a little bit safer, a little bit more comfortable.
Priscilla Casper, KGUN9 on your side.
In weather, this was a winter like no other. Here's Aaron.
Boy, you can say that again. Warmest winter on record. We'll break down the numbers for you. In the meantime, here's a live look at Kitt Peak, where all eyes will be on our full moon tonight. That's coming up in our full forecast.
At least 2.4 million more Americans were affected by the Equifax data breach that happened last year. These customers had names and a partial driver's license number stolen. The original breach affected the Social Security numbers of almost 150 million Americans.
President Trump will impose tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. That's because increased foreign production, especially by China, has driven down prices and hurt U.S. producers. The Commerce Department called the situation a national security threat. The announcement sparked fears on Wall Street, driving the Dow Jones down more than 500 points today, or 2%.
Now, KGUN9 on your side. First warning weather. Brought to you by Casino del Sol, the soul of Tucson.
Well, we got to enjoy winter late. Just came and then just kind of left.
Yeah, happy spring, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, first day of March.
That's right. So from a meteorological standpoint, that means that spring has sprung.
Okay.
And you know what else that means?
What?
I can officially say I made it through the entire winter without using my
Yes, you can.
Yeah, baby. We've been tracking that. Now watch. All of a sudden it'll get cold and I'll turn it on in spring. But it is now March. As we flip the calendar over to the first of the new month, we can say we are in a new season. And you have made it through the hottest winter on record. This is one of the reasons I was able to go without my heat. But I think that is sort of a telltale sign of the way our temperatures have been going. I've lived in Tucson for 21 years. I've never been able to make it through a winter without using my heat. This is the first, and this is why. Our average temperature, meaning those daytime highs and overnight lows factored in together, was 58 degrees from December through January and February. That is not like half a degree or 1 degree warmer than normal. That is a whopping 5 degrees warmer than is average for us. Our average high temperature, on the other hand, 71. That too, 5 degrees warmer than normal. Our rainfall was just under 2.5 inches worth. That makes it the 49th wettest on record, and that is below average, by the way, as far as the rainfall is concerned for winter. So looking ahead to spring, we've used this before, but it's been a while, so I thought I'd dust it off, bring it back out here. What does spring look like for us? March, April, May? Well, Climate Prediction Center is forecasting well above average temperatures for most of Arizona, New Mexico, into Texas, Oklahoma. Well above average, not just above average, well above average. That would be anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal. Very similar to what we had over the course of winter, right? We're at 68 degrees right now in Tucson, 69 in Sells, 60 for Wilcox, 64 Sierra Vista, the same in Douglas. And we are going to hold on to those clear skies here overnight. Not nearly as chilly as what we were last night, as our temperature will warm to just about 41 degrees for our evening as compared to what we were last night and early this morning. But that will make for decent viewing, at least with those clear skies, of our full worm moon. It is the first full moon of the month, and yes, we have a second one that will happen on the very end of the month, the 31st. So we are going to be having a blue moon come later on in the month, and we'll remind you of that as we get a little closer. In the meantime, 75 degrees tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Hard to believe we're talking temperatures in the 70s after just having had snow and graupel and hail and cold temperatures yesterday. Our temperature tomorrow, again, topping out at 75. We are looking at mostly clear skies. Look at the 7-day for you now. We have that one exception to the sunny and 70-degree thing. That will happen on Sunday. Our high comes down to 65. The wind picks up with a storm system to our north, but no rain. Stella?
Aaron, thank you. Arizona Athletics and KGUN9 is proud to introduce to you another teacher who is a finalist for the Circle K Outstanding High School Faculty Teacher of the Year Award. Tonight, we want you to meet Mr. William Jeffries.
English has always been Mr. William Jeffries' favorite subject, and now he's teaching freshmen at Andrada Polytechnic High School in Vail, doing what he loves.
This is really my dream job. English seemed to be my gig. I enjoy reading, and just trying to get kids to read anything nowadays really was something that I wanted to do.
Mr. Jeffries has an impressive background. He spent 24 years in the Air Force. After he retired, he got his master's degree in education from U of A.
I just love influencing kids and being a part of kids' lives, and I knew that was my calling, was I wanted to be a teacher.
Mr. Jeffries has been teaching English at Andrada High for 5 years, but not without its challenges.
Finding things that's relevant to kids nowadays is the most important thing, because Romeo and Juliet to them is absolutely, it's my favorite Shakespeare. I love teaching it. It's got fighting, love, death. I mean, it's got everything in it, but they don't see it that way. They see it as it's an old William Shakespeare book. So trying to incorporate modern stuff for them is really what is my drive and something that I'm still trying to perfect.
Mr. Jeffries is one of 9 finalists nominated by Circle K for Teacher of the Year award.
I love the fact that my principal and the people around me thought so highly of me to nominate me, but I'm really crazy humble because I know there's people out there better than me.
And when Mr. Jeffries isn't inside a classroom, you can find him on the football field.
So not only do you teach English, you're also a head football coach.
Yes, at Empire High School. It's my 5th year as a varsity head coach. I'm super excited. We made the playoffs this year, first time as a head coach, and because of those guys right there, not anything special I did. I just got a great bunch of kids, so it's
How
exciting.
do you find time for all of this?
I have a great wife. That's how I find the time. She lets me do what I love, and that's been the biggest thing. She's awesome.
Happy wife, happy life. The winner will be announced tomorrow evening. Some of these teachers I've got the chance to meet are so amazing.
They are,
Everything
aren't
they
they?
do, they find so much time.
Passion and care for those kids.
Absolutely. Every year, millions of Americans miss medical appointments because they don't have transportation.
This costs the medical system more than $150 billion every year. Coming up, a partnership that'll get you to your appointment without costing you a dime. You're watching KGUN9 on your side. A virtual look at how one local high school is trying to combat distracted and impaired driving, how they think they did, and what the experience felt like. Coming up at 6, right here on KGUN9.
You're watching KGUN9 on your side.
It is a decades-long, family-friendly tradition. Starting tomorrow through Sunday evening, 4th Avenue is having its biannual street fair. Artists from around the world, food, entertainment, and much more will be offered. The times are on our website. Just head to KGUN9.com. Get to your doctor's appointment without spending a dime.
Uber Health is partnering with healthcare providers to schedule rides for patients. The providers will cover the transportation cost. More than 100 healthcare organizations already are on board.
Persistence paid off big time.
Yes, it did. How these oil refinery workers became millionaires. You're watching KGUN9 on your side.
With persistence and a whole lot of luck, 31 oil refinery workers won the Canadian jackpot together.
These gentlemen get $60 million, so that's $2 million per man. They've been buying $150 worth of lotto tickets for the past 3 years, and finally they did it. 5 of them, by the way, have already retired.
Just 5? Go!
And there's one woman in the group. Did you see her?
Yes. Go retire. Have fun.
I know where you can find a job.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you at 6.